Right, morning everyone. I'm here with Brian from Snappy Snaps. How are you, Brian?
Hi, John.
So tell us, what is the impact of parking or lack of parking and removal of all the benefits for Windsor residents having on your business?
Sizable impact. Everyone I've spoken to about this and have brought their concerns. What I do, I have a discount scheme which I promote very heavily with the Advantage card. And when I see people go across my threshold, which is £10, I ask them, do they have one? Almost to a person these days, they're not carrying them because they see no point. They used to use it mainly for the car parking. And so they don't see any benefit in carrying that card anymore because the council have removed that discount. Conversations with many of them, they're heading to Bracknell now because the car parking fees are a lot less. The experience out in Bracknell is a lot better because there's more stores open. It's having a direct impact. COVID and things like the car park discounts are having a direct impact on footfall, which is closing shops down. And the council need to get creative with incentives like putting the revenue or the discounts back in for the revenue to be as low as it was. Because a lot of residents are saying that even though they were paying, I don't know off the top of my head what the discount was, but it was pretty generous. What they're saying is that because they're now having to pay a lot more for parking, they're not parking here at all, which means that the council is not getting a reduced amount of revenue, they're getting no revenue from parking. And so that removal has had an absolute direct impact on shopping in Windsor in general. And we need, certainly this time with COVID and the restrictions that are on retail, the council need to get creative with ideas that allow residents, locals, park again with concessions, because you're penalising the very people who are on your doorstep.
Yeah. Because the reality is, would you say that the vast majority of your customers historically have been locals?
Yes. Yeah. I'm not tourist dependent. My store doesn't depend on tourism in the sense that a lot of the restaurants and the souvenir shops do. I'm heavily dependent on local footfall, and if that local footfall is being driven to Bracknell, it then begs the question as to what I've just signed another 10-year lease to commit myself to Windsor.
Yeah, that was only in the last few months as well, wasn't it?
Christmas last year.
Yeah,
I signed a 10-year lease. So I'm committed to Windsor. I've been here for 17 years because I love the place, but it's being made more and more difficult for retailers like myself to keep businesses going because the local footfall is being discouraged to coming into their own town centre. They have to drive further away to do the very thing they can do on their own doorstep.
Yeah.
And to me, that's illogical.
Yeah. So if around Christmas time, I personally, I think we should be looking at something along the lines of free parking for Windsor residents. I mean, that would make sense. They must have been massively hit by the level of parking anyway. So let's try and help local retailers at this time, rather than worry about the parking fee.
At this point in time, if you want your stores to stay open, incentives like that would be very useful. And down the road, once we get through this, I mean, we've got signs of a vaccine coming in, so that in itself is a step in the right direction, and that should help get if we get that in place, that'll help get the country back on its feet. But at the minute, when we haven't got any guarantees of dates on that, we need to do something that encourages people to come into town centres, and free parking for a short-term period is a win-win.
Smashing. All right. That's sad, isn't it? But here we go. Come and support Snappy Snaps and Brian. Keep him in business. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, John.